welcome to my channel. My name is Dina. Thank you so much for being here. On this episode of the Rainbow Shadow series, we're going to be dipping into a baby pink eyeshadow. So if you're interested in seeing a baby pink eyeshadow tutorial, then I'll meet you back here in a sec. Okay, so if you are new to my channel, the very first step is priming our eyelids. So my favorite eyeshadow primer is only $1. It is from Shop Miss A. I went ahead and linked it for you down below. Just be sure to apply it with a synthetic brush since it is a liquid to cream formula, and then wait for it to dry completely. So once your eyeshadow primer is dry completely, now we're going to dip into our basic eyeshadow set. If you don't have a basic eyeshadow set with your personal eyeshadow set colors, I help you pick out your personal set in my eyeshadow tutorial video. So be sure to refer back to that video and then come on back to this video so that way we can be on the same page in achieving this baby pink eyeshadow look. Okay, so the very first color that I'm going to dip into is this flat white shade right over here. So I'm going to take my really big eyeshadow brush. All of the brushes that I am going to be using, I did link for you down below. They are all under $8 from e.l.f. So I highly recommend these brushes. They are very effective, and also too, they're also very inexpensive. So I highly recommend them. So we are going to coat both sides of our really big blending brush, and this step is very simple. We're just going to take this color all the way from our lashes all the way up underneath the eyebrow. So right where you put your eyeshadow primer is exactly where you want to put this specific shade. Okay, so once you're done setting your eyeshadow primer, now we're going to start dipping into actual color. That's another reason why it's so important to set your eyeshadow primer. If you were just to dip into your crease color right after applying your eyeshadow primer, it will grab onto that primer and it's not going to be really soft and blend easily. So for that reason, it is very important that you do set your eyeshadow primer. So now we're going to dip into a shade that I'm going to place into my crease, but it's not necessarily super bronzy. It's a flesh tone crease color, so it's going to be this shade right over here. So as you can tell, it doesn't really have a lot of a cool brown undertone or a warm brown undertone. It's more of a flesh tone. So I'm going to use my really big fluffy crease brush, and I'm going to coat both sides of my brush, tap off the excess, and then I'm just going to place this color into the crease. And then once I'm done, I'm going to show you how natural and how beautiful this shade is and how it doesn't really have a lot of warmth. It's almost like a neutral crease tone color. So you can see how I'm gradually starting to add color. I'm not going in with anything too harsh just yet. So really be sure to build your colors step by step. Great, so now I'm going to take that same flesh tone crease color and do the same thing on the other side. Now your flesh tone crease color can be a little bit more on the pinky side or on the neutral side. My skin tone is a little bit more neutral, so for that reason it's a little bit pink and yellow, but tailor it to your specific skin tone. Great, once you're done adding your flesh tone crease color, now I want you to take your really small brush that we use specifically for the lower lash line. So it's a really tiny blending brush. And I want you to dip into that same flesh tone crease color, and we're going to take this all the way up underneath our eyelashes, so right underneath our lash line. So look up. You don't have to look up. You can use a mirror if you would like. This is definitely a lot easier for you. So for this specific step, grab your handheld mirror, look up, and then place it right up underneath your eyelashes. So look straight up into the mirror, and then place it right up underneath your eyelashes. It's very important that you put a little bit of eyeshadow right up underneath your lashes. It just overall makes your eyeshadow application look less heavy, look less harsh, and also look less made up. So as you can tell, it just overall looks more seamless and more connected. So now I'm going to take that same flesh tone crease color and do the same thing on this side. Okay, once you're done applying that flesh tone color to the lower part of your lashes, now take your clean brush. So always have a clean eyeshadow brush on hand so that way we can soften all the color application that we just applied to our eye. So I'm just going to take this and just one time soften it underneath my lash line, and then I'm also going to soften the work that I just did onto my crease. And now I'm just going to soften the work on this side. Okay, so once you're done softening and blending all of your basic neutral colors, now we're going to dip into actual color. So we're not going to use our basic eyeshadow set anymore because our basic eyeshadow set has a lot more warm shades, and I want this specific look to be a little bit more on the cool tone. So I'm going to put our basic palette away, and now I'm going to show you the eyeshadow palette that inspired me to do the Rainbow Shadow series. I purchased this palette off Amazon for $20. Very, very inexpensive, non-toxic, comes with over 100 colors. colors, and it also has mattes, sheens, and shimmers. So overall, just a really beautiful selection of shades. So as you can see right over here, we have this really beautiful selection of pinks, golds, and neutrals, and emerald greens. And then this palette right over here, you also have a really gorgeous selection of greens. But since we are doing a baby pink eyeshadow, I am going to stick with this palette right over here. So let's start dipping into color. Okay, so the very first color that I'm going to dip into is going to be this soft gray right over here. So I'm not going to do anything too silver. I'm not going to do anything too charcoal. I'm just going to do a soft gray. So for this step, I'm going to take my big fluffy eyeshadow blending brush, so my crease brush, and I'm going to coat both sides of my brush. And then after I'm done coating both sides of my brush, I do want to show you something that I purchased off Shop Miss A as well. This is their in-between eyeshadow brush cleaner. So if you don't have a lot of brushes to use from, you can take your brush and just sweep it over this eyeshadow brush cleaner, and it does take off all the pigment, so that way you have a fresh, clean brush to dip into a new color. So I highly recommend this, and again, it is only $1. So very, very, very great to have in your kit. Okay, so we're going to dip into this soft gray right over here. Again, we're going to coat both sides of our brush, and then really be sure to tap off the excess, just so that way you don't have any fallout. So tap off the excess on your compact, and then tap off the excess either on your hand or on a tissue. And then we're going to take this soft gray color and we're going to place it right in our crease. Now I'm just going to add a teeny bit more because I do like to build my colors gradually. Great, now once you're done adding that soft gray color to your crease, go ahead and do the same thing on the other side, coating both sides of your really big blending brush. Okay, once you're done applying that soft gray color to your crease, now we're just going to enhance the crease a little bit. So I'm just going to apply this color right over here, so this charcoal gray color. I'm going to coat both sides of my really big blending brush, and I'm going to tap off the excess. And then once I'm done tapping off the excess, I'm going to place this color right at the outside corner on the crease. So I'm not going to take it all the way in the crease because we just placed that really beautiful soft gray shade. So I'm just going to focus this charcoal color right at the outside corner. So I'm taking the tip of my brush and I'm placing it right at the outside corner and on my crease. Great, so now I'm going to take that same charcoal color and do the same thing on the other side. Great, now once you're done applying that color, grab your blending brush and just soften those two colors that we just did. Whenever blending and softening, don't apply a lot of pressure, just use the tip of the brush because we just want to soften any harsh lines and we just want to overall blend the colors together. Now before moving on to the next side, just wipe off your brush just so that way you don't transfer any more pigment, because the point of this step is to soften, so we don't want to add any more color. Great, once you're done softening and blending, now I want you to take that really small brush that we use for our lower lash line and just go ahead and clean it off. Perfect, now for this step, I want you to take that same charcoal color that we just used and dip both sides of your brush. Great, now really be sure to tap off the excess since we are going on to the lower lash line. You don't want to get any eyeshadow into your eye. So for this step, I want you to take this color and place it right at the outside corner. So we're kind of mirroring and mimicking the work that we just did, and we're placing this right at the outside corner. So I'm not taking it all the way up underneath my lash line. I'm just placing it right here at the outside corner, and also too, I am going to take it and connect the two corners together. So I'm not just going to focus on my lower lash line, I'm also going to take it right at the corner of my eye. Right now, once you're done bringing down that charcoal color to the lower lash line and connecting the two shades, now I want you to do the same thing on the other side. So coat both sides of your brush, tap off the excess, place it right up underneath your lashes, and then connect the two together. Great, now once you're done with that, I want you to take your blending brush again and just really be sure that there's no pigment. And now I want you to soften the eyeshadow underneath your lash line. This is going to prevent your eyeshadow from having a line from where it meets your makeup. So very, very important that you do soften the eyeshadow underneath your lashes as well. Great, now once you're done softening and blending that color, now I want you to take that same brush and just clean it off completely. Great, now once you're done with that, I want you to dip into this color right over here. So just working our way down, it's a little bit more of a charcoal black, so it does have a little bit more depth to it. So now I'm going to coat both sides of my really small brush, and I'm going to top off the excess, and then I'm going to place this shade right at the outside corner of my eye. So I'm not going to place it underneath my lower lashes. I'm just going to place it right at the outside corner, and then I'm going to bring it up to the top part of my lashes. So now I really want to enhance the smokiness right at the outside corner of my eye. So you can see how I'm not bringing any of this pigment down to my lower lashes. I'm just focusing it right over here, right at the outside corner and at the top part of my lashes. Great, so you can overall see how now it's gradually starting to get even more smokier, but we are sticking with the cool tone, so absolutely no browns in this specific eyeshadow look. So now I'm going to take that same charcoal black color and do the same thing on this side. Okay, once you're done applying that color, now I want you to grab your blending brush just one last time and then just soften the work that you just did, so that way we're connecting this really beautiful charcoal black color to all the soft gray colors that we just placed on our eyelid. Great. Now once we're done with that, I want you to take your really big fluffy eyeshadow brush and just clean your brush off completely. And now I want you to dip into this color right over here, so a really intense silver color. So we're going to coat both sides of our brush, dipping into this really beautiful silver color. Great. Now once you're done dipping into that silver color, really be sure to tap off the excess. And now I want you to place this shade right over here, so right at the center of your eye. And for this step, I'm not going to do any swiping motions because I really want that silver to be very concentrated and very metallic. So for that reason, I'm just going to tap it and build the product right over here. Great, so once you're done adding that silver right to the center part of your eye, now I want you to do the same thing on the other side. So coat both sides of your brush, and then just tap the color right over here. So really, really focus on building the pigment right over here at the front part of your eye. Okay, once you're done applying that silver onto your eyelid, now I want you to clean your brush off completely because I do still want to use this really big fluffy brush. Now I'm going to dip into even brighter of a silver, so this color right over here. I'm going to coat both sides of my brush. Now we're going to focus more on the inside corner of our eyes. So coat both sides of your brush with this really intense, beautiful, reflective silver, and then really be sure to tap off the excess. And then once you're done tapping off the excess, now I want you to take this color and place it right at the inside corner of your eye. Again, do that same exact motion and really focus on building it. So we're not going to do any swiping motions. We just really want to pack on the color right over there. Look how beautiful and how intense and how metallic that silver is. Okay, once you're done applying that reflective silver to the inside corner of your eye, now I want you to grab the really small brush that we use for our lower lash line and just clean it off. Great, now once you're done cleaning it off, I want you to dip into this shade right over here. So it's a little bit more of a icy white color, so it still is in that silver family. It does have a little bit more of a silver tone, but it's just not as silver. It has a little bit more of an iridescent white look to it. So I'm going to take that color and I'm going to dip both sides of my really small blending brush, and I'm going to tap off the excess, and then I'm going to take this really icy silver color and I'm going to place it right at the inside corner on my tear duct. Great, once you're done applying that reflective silver pigment to the inside corner of your eye, now I want you to take your ring finger and then we're going to dip into this baby pink color right over here. So we're going to take our ring finger because our ring finger does apply the least amount of pressure. I don't want to use a eyeshadow brush because if I was to dip in with a eyeshadow brush, you can see how it picks up too much pigment and then that's just going to erase all the work that we just did. So for this specific step, I do want it to be more of a sheer application of color. So for that reason, we are going to use our finger for this step. So take your ring finger and just apply it over this really beautiful baby pink shimmery shade. And I do want to swatch it for you on my hand. So as you can see, it's very sheer if you do apply it with your finger. So overall, just a very beautiful baby pink shade. And we're going to take this shade with our finger and we're going to place it right at the inside corner of our eye. So I'm going to take this shade and I'm going to place it right at the inside corner. When you layer a baby pink reflective pigment over silver, it makes it look so beautiful. So I can't wait for you guys to see this look that I created. It's just so stunning and so beautiful. I just love the contrast of pink with silver. It's just overall such a beautiful and unique combination. Great, once you're done applying that reflective pink color, you could really see how beautiful it transitions into this deep charcoal gray color. So now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side using my ring finger. So just dipping into the product with my finger, and now I'm just going to place it right at the inside corner of my eye. Now you can see I'm doing the same step with my finger. I'm not swiping my finger because, again, that's going to erase all the work that we just did. So you do want to be delicate with your finger as well. So not just with the brush, even with your finger, be very gentle and don't do any swiping motions. Just kind of tap and build the color. Great, now once you're done applying that reflective pink pigment, now I want you to take your really small brush that we use for the lower lash line and just wipe it off on your in-between brush cleaner or on your finger or on a tissue. Now I want you to take that same pink reflective pigment, so this one right over here, the very first color, and now I want you to coat both sides of your brush. And now we're going to take this color and place it underneath on our lower lash line, so I really want to bring that baby pink down. So now I'm going to take off the excess because I don't want to get any of this on my eye or on my face. So we're just going to take this color and place it right over here, so right at the inside corner of our eye. Great, and you can really see how we're starting to just gently bring down that really beautiful baby pink. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, once you're done bringing down that baby pink reflective pigment, now I want you to take your crease brush, and now we're going to do one last final step just to tie this whole baby pink look together. So for this step, I want you to dip into a coral color. So I'm going to show you this really beautiful coral color, and we're going to coat both sides of our crease brush. And I'm just going to tap off the excess, and then we're going to place this shade just right in our crease. So I'm going to place it right over here, just right in the crease. And you can really see, I'm just going to grab a little bit more color, you can really see how this peach color overall really does tie the look together. Great, so you can overall see just how adding a little bit of peach to your crease just overall ties this really beautiful baby pink charcoal look together. So now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side using that same peach color. And I'm just going to place it right at the top part of my crease. Great, now once you're done with that, now we're going to move on to lining and defining our eyes. Now for this step, I'm not going to do a liquid liner. Just doing a liquid liner overall is going to be way too harsh and distract from all this beautiful work that we just did. So for that reason, I'm going to dip into a gel liner and I'm going to tight line my eyes. If you have any questions or difficulty tight lining your eyes, I do help you step by step in my eyeliner and lashes video. So literally I help you step by step and I teach you how to position yourself in the mirror so that way you can do the same exact thing that I'm doing right now. So I'm going to take my Bobbi Brown gel liner brush that I went ahead and linked for you down below. And I'm going to coat both sides of my brush, and then whenever you're done coating both sides of your brush, be sure to take your gel liner and flip it upside down on your counter so that way it doesn't dry out on you. Great, so now I'm just going to remove the excess off on the back of my hand just to make sure I do have a thin, even layer on my brush. And now I'm just going to take this right up underneath my lashes. Okay, so I just got done tight lining my eye, so I do want to show you the before and after. So if I take a look at you right over here, you can see how we do have this really beautiful eyeshadow, but we don't really see our eyelashes. So there's not really a lot of definition at the base part of our lashes. So when I turn a little bit this way and take a look at you, you can really see how now my lashes are more visible, and overall the base part of my lashes are even thicker. So I highly recommend this step, even too if you're not a fan of eyeliner. It is like an invisible eyeliner, so I highly recommend this step. So now I'm going to go ahead and tight line my other eye. Okay, once you're done tight lining your eyes, now we're going to move on to the lower part of our lashes. So for this step, you're going to need a brush specifically used to smoke out eyeliner. So this is my Bobbi Brown Smoky Eyeliner brush. If you don't have a brush specifically used to blend and smudge liner, it's just a smaller version of a basic eyeshadow brush. So you can see how this brush is your traditional basic brush and how this one is just a little bit smaller. So if you can find one that's a smaller version of this one, then you can get away with that. So go ahead and use that brush. So now I'm just going to dip into whatever's left over on my hand. I don't want a really thin, harsh line at the inside waterline. That overall really does make your eyes look smaller. So this step just really does make it look a lot smokier and really does make your eyes look a lot bigger. Okay, so now I'm going to take that brush and dip into whatever's left over on the back of my hand. Great, now once you're done with that, I want you to grab your handheld mirror and hold it up very, very high and just take this eyeliner right in between your eyelashes. So you will still get definition of eyeliner, but it's not going to be this really intense line. So again, I will show you the before and after before I move on to the next eye, just so that way you can see how overall it's a lot softer and a lot more seamless. So now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, just using whatever's left over on my hand. Okay, once you're done adding that soft black liner to the lower part of your lashes, you can either add mascara and finalize the look, but I'm going to go ahead and do my lashes off camera, and then I'm going to meet you back here and show you the final look of the Rainbow Shadow Series Baby Pink tutorial. So I'll be right back. Alright you guys, I just got done doing my lashes and mascara off camera, so this is the final look of the Rainbow Shadow Series Baby Pink tutorial. I hope you guys love this look just as much as I do, and if you guys have any questions on any looks that I have done, or if you guys want me to create any specific color, feel free to link it for me down below. But until next time, I will see you on another episode where we're going to be dipping into so many fun colors, and I do want to thank you again so much for being here. Take care and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.